So, good.
Robbie Earle and Robbie Mustoe here in the Match of the Day studio. Robbie, was that just a case of Liverpool had their front six back and all firing on all cylinders and remembering how they can play after what's been a terrible 2017?
Pretty much, yeah, pretty much. And of those front six, Sadio Mane, even though that Jurgen Klopp doesn't want to... I think when you look at the bigger picture with them, you do wonder why they can't be more consistent in some of the teams that are flat out. That's what they've been a little bit disappointing of late.
It's almost impossible, Rob, to play that way for 38 games and play your cup games, and if you're in your...
Back four today as well. I mean, the back four have been disappointing, have been poor, but they haven't got to defend if they dominate the game as they did today. I was just surprised how much they dominated the central area and got on the front foot and allowed those front three players, Rebecca, to run riot.
Well, we heard there Mauricio Pochettino talk about a lack of energy and there wasn't the desire to win the game. And he does now, as we heard in that interview, concede that it's now going to be very difficult to win the Premier League. Why would a Tottenham team just not turn up like they didn't in that first half?
Well, that's the disappointing thing. There's two disappointment parts to this game. The first, they play through, and they continued to try and play through, and it just didn't work because Liverpool was so good in that area and they flooded that midfield, they couldn't get out.
I look at these two teams today playing of what to do in certain situations, whether you play long or not, whether you put the brakes on and make sure goals don't go in. Those are still the things I think this group are learning and finding out, and it's cost them in the 3 games that they've lost.
Title's gone?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
OK. After the break, we'll head out to the Emirates, where Arsene Wenger was looking to silence. Does not sit well within the game, therefore referees don't really give goals if they go in off a hand, even if it wasn't intentional. It's so complicated, Robbie Mustoe. What do you make of it?
Just put it in the laws, then.
Yeah.
Put it in the laws so we all understand. We're all on the same page. We all get the laws. We all know them. We know the laws of the game then. We know the laws for handball. Of course we do.
Rebecca Lowe gives us at the start of the season, we do a bedtime reading, we read the laws of the game, and handball is deliberate or intentional.
As we just saw in that graphic.
As we saw. If not, we have to have a section at the back called does not sit well with me, and we'll have to go through that section as well, because what's the did not sit well? Is that interpretation? Is that how individual referees think? The fans and pundits know whether something's right or wrong. I mean, this just puts it into total confusion.
I mean, this is the FIFA laws of the game. So is this the same interpretation in Spain, in Germany, in the Champions League, in different competitions, in World Cups? If so, put it in the laws.
Yeah.
Put it in the laws. Like, handball has to be... Unless it leads to a goal, then it doesn't matter if it was deliberate or not.
The other side of this, Mark Clattenburg apologising to the Hull City players coming back out for the second half. He somehow, during half-time, managed to see the goal and then needed to apologise. How did he see the goal?
Obviously. I mean...
But you're not allowed to, Rob. Not allowed to watch tape, not the mistake, guys, and then, you know, your hope is I'll make it maybe up for you second half.
Indeed, he opens himself up to Hull City players, putting a lot of pressure on him, saying, well, you got that wrong the first half, how about you give us this decision second half? So what a confusing situation that was. Well, up next here on Match of the Day, Jose Mourinho and Manchester United were looking to keep 20th. But that is all from us on Match of the Day. So after watching top 4 rivals Arsenal and Manchester United handle their business, Liverpool did the same on Saturday in their win over Tottenham. And for Spurs, how damaging will that loss be in their quest for their first title in over 50 years? We'll find out in May. For Robbie Mustoe, Robbie Earle and myself, Rebecca Lowe, thanks for joining us.